we have he's now the second player we've named from the same team. That's the first time we've done that today. But we have Christian Wood.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
Christian Wood being at 15, I feel like I actually had I might have had him lower in my list. I feel like for me, I think I actually had him and Cousins basically just one spot above one another, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's really just a matter of how much does Cousins play, whereas how we really rank Wood. I'm not saying Wood's probably one of the guys who I think is going to move a lot on this list between now and let's say the next 5 years, where he might even end up in the same spot, but I just think he's going to have the most flexibility year to year, where there might be years he's like top 12, but there might also be a year where he's 21st, because he might have a year where he puts up 21-8, then he might have a year where he puts up 15-7 and guys lose hope, even though he's still kind of doing what he's supposed to. So, I mean, his last 10 games were great last year. He put up 24-10 basically, but a lot of guys had a good last 10 games last year. Kobe White for the Chicago Bulls at 24-8 as a point guard. So hopefully he could sustain it in Houston. A lot of people in Detroit before the start of the game last year had really big hope on him. Another undrafted guy who's been a great player. So yeah, I think it's a good spot for Wood, and he'll probably put up a good amount of points this year. He'll hopefully, for Houston, have very similar numbers to Detroit, be over 20 per game, and it'll allow them just to easily slide into a top 4 Western Conference spot with his production.
Yeah, no, for sure. And for me, I put Wood. I completely agree with everything you said. I actually put Wood in the same category as someone like Ibaka right now, but the difference being Ibaka I find a little bit better on defense. Of course, they have Wood rated higher because his offense is at a much higher level right now, just with the energy he brings, the age he is, and the real big difference as to why he is ahead of someone like Ibaka, even though they put up similar stats last year, is he has that potential. He's in that perfect role for him. Harden and Westbrook are both guys that can average 10 assists per game. He's going to have open shots. He can shoot a three-point decently. I think he's going to do really good in Houston. That's someone we had fairly good consensus on. You had him close to that 15 range. I actually had him right at that 15 range. So that's someone that we both believe that he can make changes. Hopefully it's for the better, to be honest. If he doesn't end up as he was playing the last month of last year, then he could actually go down on this list just as much as he can go up. He definitely has a lot of room for improvement and a lot of room for him to also potentially let people down. If he does, at least he got paid first. But I do think that was a great pickup by Houston. I think that him and Cousins, he might actually be moved to power forward if Cousins does come back and play significant minutes. But I think that that's a great center lineup between him and Cousins.
Yeah, I mean, that was a big discussion, a hard point for us too, where Christian was a power forward and center. And yes, if DeMarcus Cousins has a very similar year to Golden State, where he plays 25, 27 minutes per game, he's going to be starting center. Christian Wood will be power forward. And it does make this pick, obviously, a bit less relevant, but we're obviously assuming based on the minutes Cousins getting and the kind of the flow of the rotation, will start, or maybe not start center, but he will play center enough.
Yep.
If Cousins does have an injury, Wood obviously immediately starts into the center. So we justify him as a center A for that. But yeah, definitely very versatile for the Houston Rockets, even before the last 10 games, like year round. I believe he's about a 13-7 guy, which again, very similar to Thomas Bryant. The main difference is, again, Thomas Bryant didn't have a breakout like Christian Wood did. So if we're ranking Thomas Bryant in the top 25, even if Christian Wood doesn't do what people are hoping his potential could be in Houston, probably is still a top 25 center, at least a borderline.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I think he's proven that body of work at least over his year in Detroit last year. He's proven that he's worth that contract. He actually got less money than we were originally thinking. We thought he would get even more money than his 41-3 year. So clearly we do have a high opinion of him. He's really proven to deserve that high opinion to a certain degree. Like you say, even if he does digress a little bit, he'll still be a top 20 probably center over the next 10 years. He's still a young guy. But what a good up-and-comer, though. Such good undrafted guys coming through. Really goes to show that these teams are developing great players. Wood wasn't always considered this top-notch prospect, and the fact that he's now considered a top 15 position in the NBA is just fantastic.
Definitely. And I guess before we get going, before we cut the video,